Hi everybody, thanks so much for joining us for this. This is my architecture episode. My name is Stas, I'm a solutions architect at Amazon Web Services, and I'm joined today by Robert from F-Secure. Hi Robert.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thanks for joining us. So how about you tell us a bit about F-Secure?
Sure, F-Secure is a leading cybersecurity company. Myself, I work in the security cloud team, and we build the APIs and interfaces that allow people and products to connect to F-Secure's real-time threat intelligence systems.
Interesting. And I understand that recently you've launched a really interesting API that can be easily consumed via the marketplace.
Recently, we launched a new product that uses Amazon API Gateway integration with AWS Marketplace. Basically, our API is a reputation API, so anywhere that collects user content that has URLs in it, so for example, a proxy, social media, email servers, etc., any place that has URLs, if you don't want to be spreading malicious links and potential unwanted software, so you can send those URLs to our API and get a reputation analysis on those URLs.
God, that's really interesting. So if, let's say, I'm an application developer and I have a comment section, so perhaps I'm working on a platform that hopefully already uses your APIs and then will just block these comments, but if I'm not, I might actually call these APIs directly and check before I post anything or allow my users to post anything, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's an API that anybody can subscribe to via the API marketplace. Specifically, how it works is it is basically just an API, Amazon API gateway that is a proxy to our own backend. So API gateway integration with marketplace kind of solved a bunch of problems that we had. That while we've always wanted to offer this service, the cost and time needed to handle billing questions and credit card information and all of this just wouldn't be adding value there. So this API marketplace integration was exactly what we wanted. So we had to build two components. One was just a very simple API gateway instance that just proxies the request to our own backends. And the second part that we had to build was a developer portal that basically allows anybody from the AWS marketplace to come sign up for the service, subscribe to the service, get an API key, and then with that API key, they can go call the API gateway, which just proxies the request to us.
Got it. So I'm a developer. I want to use your APIs. I need an AWS account.
Yes.
I go register on the portal, which is pretty cool. It's all serverless, both the API gateway and access and also the portal. I get my API key, and the API gateway supports a couple of authentication methods.
Yes.
And I put in the request, and then I get billed per query or
yes,
somehow.
So exactly per request. So it uses integrated billing, so they don't have to give F-Secure their credit card. It automatically appears in their AWS bill.
Got it. Really interesting. So API Gateway here is used once for the billing and marketplace integration, but do you also kind of leverage it for logging or caching or?
We do some, of course, we do logging as well, just to verify that our service is running okay and within our own internal SLA.
So really happy to see you're doing full serverless. A lot of our customers trying to get to that point. A bit of feedback from customers is that once you move from a standard, for example, EC2 kind of application deployment models, or from the container world, there's a bit of work required to understand how do you deploy, how do you do change management. How did you solve that problem?
Yeah, so we have a whole bunch of services in our team, and we are trying to move serverless as well because we don't want to be maintaining infrastructure. We want to be building products and giving value to our end customers. So we try to use API Gateway and Lambda whenever we can. So this service is built using API Gateway and Lambda specifically. This uses the new AWS serverless Express Node.js module, which basically turns any Express application, Node.js Express application, into an API Gateway-backed Lambda application, so that we could reuse a whole bunch of the code, the systems, the authentication systems that we already have in place for our existing Express-based APIs.
That's actually really nice to hear because many think that I need to redesign my application, I have to change a lot of things. So it's really interesting to hear how you took an existing application, packaged it up, and now are able to deploy it with CloudFormation. We have it here once kind of every time to maybe dev, pre-prod, kind of stage, test, and then production, right?
Yeah, so we use AWS SAM, or serverless application model, which basically is kind of two AWS CLI commands, two CloudFormation commands. One to package all the files. This creates an artifact that's automatically uploaded to S3, and then we run a second command to deploy that specific artifact into whichever environment we're at in that scenario.
That's a really elegant solution to that problem, so really nice. Thanks so much for being here, Robert.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for watching This Is My Architecture.